YouTube, what's up? What's good? Hope you're good, doing good today. Sending peace, sending love, sending blessings. Today's topic is, the title, I should say, is titled "Semen Retention is a Sacrifice," and it's a necessary sacrifice. So the reason why I say this is because, anytime you give something up, you're doing that because you want to attract something else to you. So it's a sacrifice. Just to use an example, I remember I got offered a job, it was going to be a job just for a couple of months, and I said no to it. And because I said no to it, I sacrificed that opportunity. So it's a trade-off. I sacrificed that opportunity to allow other opportunities to open themselves up to me. So sometimes you have to say no to things in life. And as I mentioned in one of my initial videos, the hardest thing, especially as a man, the hardest thing to say no to is that sexual desire, one, and to food. Other things, once you master how to say no to those things, it's extremely easy to say no to anything else. Video on fasting coming soon, but this is about semen retention. So semen retention is a sacrifice. When I turned, I think I was about 15, I used to play Call of Duty. I was a computer game nerd. I love playing computer games and stuff. That transitioned into PlayStation games or whatever. When I turned 15, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice playing games. I stopped playing games at 15 years old or 16, one of them ages. And that allowed me to sort of develop in other areas. So if you want to change your life, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice something. So one of the best things to sacrifice as a young man, I strongly believe, is sex and semen retention. And that's why we get on semen retention. Semen retention will change your life. It will. Getting on this will change your life, will change the way you see things, it will change the way you're attacking your goals. It's going to change everything, and once you're on this journey, you're going to get a glow about yourself. Your aura is going to develop, your energy is going to be to the roof, so it's a sacrifice, and you must sacrifice. You must. So if you want to transform your life, semen retention is the best thing as a young man that you can do. Sorry, not as a young man. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's the best thing that you can do. Sacrificing the sexual desires and just holding your seed and cultivating your energy in general. So, and if you really want to magnify, you want to maximize the process of which you're changing your life. What else are you going to sacrifice? Sacrifice your addictions. Like for me, I was getting high every single day. I've sacrificed weed now. At one point I thought like I needed it to perform. No, you don't need it to perform. I don't need it to perform. So are you going to sacrifice your relationships? Are you going to sacrifice going out at night? Are you going to sacrifice stopping playing video games? Are you going to sacrifice anime? Are you going to sacrifice, you have to ask yourself, what are you, how bad do you want it? And if you want it extremely bad, you got to be willing to sacrifice everything. Absolutely everything. Sacrifice everything if you want to get to that next stage as quickly as possible. Success, for a lot of us, success is inevitable, but when is it going to come? And for a lot of us, instant gratification is a huge thing, but you got to delay gratification, but at the same time, you want to achieve your goals in the most efficient and in the most effective way possible. So if you really want to do that, what are you going to sacrifice? Sometimes you might have to move city, Sometimes you might have to isolate yourself for a bit. But if you really want to change your life, you got to be willing to make sacrifices. And the best sacrifice that you can make on your journey in transforming and changing your life is semen retention. Hardly anyone practices semen retention except for the community of people. I feel like the way the algorithms work and things like that, you'd be thinking, everyone practices semen retention. No, not everyone practices semen retention. In fact, I was just having a discussion with some friends the other day, and they're saying people are wishy-washy about semen retention. Again, I try not to go too hard on my views, but it's talking about, now instead of like multiple times a week, it's just once a week. That's not good enough. You really gotta and the true benefits of semen retention, I believe you receive as you go longer and longer and longer and longer. But again, it's an extreme practice. But it's absolutely necessary in this generation because of the world that we're living in. Like if you think again, thinking about our ancient ancestors, now you're just one click away. Our ancient ancestors didn't have access to that. They wouldn't beat their meat. You know, the only reason we have to practice semen retention anyways is because of the modern world that we're living in and how sex sells, and sex is everything. Sex is everywhere. You know, objects are designed in the shape of, you know, replicating erotic images and stuff like that. You know, that this is just you might read a menu and you look at their size, like everything is just trying to draw you back to sex, you know, and our ancestors didn't have to do that, so they would be practicing semen retention naturally. The only time they'd be releasing in any way would be through nocturnal emissions, if they got that, or through sex. Even just sitting around beating their meat, I don't imagine them doing that, you know. There's some biblical stories of, for example, David and Bathsheba. David, I believe, he beat his meat whilst looking at Bathsheba through a window or something like that, you know. So at least it's more natural. It's the pixels on the screen that's the issue. But yeah, I'm getting a bit out of hand. I was just trying to cover a different aspect. But yeah, semen retention is absolutely necessary sacrifice that you need to transform your life and transform yourself. But yeah, that's it for the video today. You know, hope you're grinding. Let's get it.